Hi, I'm Wendy Hanamura, and joining us here in the studios is journalist Souheila Al-Jadda. Souheila is a producer of Link TV's Peabody Award-winning program, Mosaic, and a regular contributor to USA Today. Thanks for being with us, Souheila.
Thank you.
Well, last year we gave you an unusual assignment, didn't we? To tape and ingest and watch as much Ramadan television for 30 days and 30 nights as you could. What did you find?
Well, I found that there is just a whole variety of different kinds of television shows that air during Ramadan. There are shows that make you laugh. There are programs like talk shows that make you cry. There are religious shows. There are just a whole host of different programs that air during this time. And usually in the Middle East, the new programs for the year, it's like September sweeps here in the United States.
But all packed into one month.
One juicy month, yeah.
So Souheila, for the first time ever, Arab television decided to tackle the topic of terrorism in the 30-part series Hur al-Ain. Mm-hmm. So night after night, people would tune in and watch. Did you watch almost all these 30 parts?
Yes, yeah, I watched the whole thing.
What would you say the overriding message of Hur al-Ain was?
I think the message was they wanted the audience to look at the religion and to examine it from an academic point of view, the religion of Islam, and to show that the religion does not promote terrorism and that there is nothing in the religion that promotes terrorism or the killing of civilians. I think that was the main message that you take away from watching that program.
Now, Hur al-Ain, Beautiful Virgins, was directed by a Syrian, but backed by Saudi Arabian money. So how does the political influence of those two countries filter into what we see on the screen?
Well, I think the producer and the director is Syrian, and his name is Najat al-Noor, and he, of course, was funded by the Saudis. Now, when you have Saudi money coming into a production, obviously the Saudi side of things looks very rosy. For example, you had clips showing the Saudi Secret Service personnel saying that they have to follow the Geneva Conventions when they're interrogating prisoners. Now, most people, when they think of Saudi Arabia, they don't think of the Geneva Conventions at all. I mean, consider what the situation is for women and the discrimination of women in the country.
So it allowed the Saudis to look very tough on terrorism to an Arab audience.
Well, it allowed them to look tough on terrorism, but it also made the Saudi Secret Service look very soft and law-abiding, played by the rules. Don't worry about being tortured in Saudi prisons because the Saudi police, they follow the Geneva Conventions, and most people
must have played well because it was the #1 show in Saudi Arabia during the month of Ramadan sweeps. Do you think it engendered a lot of kind of water cooler talk throughout the Arab world?
I think so. I talked to a lot of people who watched it, and a lot of people liked it. They liked the show. They thought that the message was on target. But I think people can see through the veiled messages about Saudi Arabia and how Saudi Arabia works and operates. I think that the Arab audience is very intelligent and they understand what's going on. Mm-hmm. So things like that don't just fly by them. But I think that a lot of people watched it. It was very interesting. And I think what was interesting is that you had a group of 5 different families living in Saudi Arabia. So you had a family from Syria, a family from Morocco, a family from Egypt, a Palestinian family. So you had all these different dialects in the program where people from all over the Middle East could connect to it and to relate to it because of the different characters in the program.
Savvy marketing too, appealing to so many different demographics.
It's marketing, but it's also truth, because in the Middle East, in Saudi Arabia specifically, there are huge complexes where expatriates, people from Egypt and Syria and Lebanon, they all live in Saudi Arabia in these isolated complexes working for Saudi companies. Of course, Saudi Arabia is considered a place where you can go. It's like the America of the Middle East. You go there, you have high salaries, excellent living standards, living conditions. You can have cars and chauffeurs, great shopping. So it's considered a place to go to improve your career.
I wonder if the fact that 280 million Arabs in the Middle East can see this kind of affluent lifestyle foments discontent, because you're watching this if you're in a poor slum in Morocco or wherever you are. What do you think?
I think you're getting into a little bit of politics there, because, you know, the Gulf states, Gulf money comes from oil, and a lot of the Gulf states, like the United Arab Emirates, they give charity donations to poor countries for development projects and things like that. But I think there is a lot of resentment by the wider Middle East, because a lot of the Gulf states with the oil money don't seem to be sharing it with the rest of the Arab countries.
Well, I want to get back to Ramadan. I mean, we are in the holy month of Ramadan, and you are observing Ramadan. Tell us what your day is like.
Well, we wake up at the crack of dawn, actually before dawn, early.
Which is about what time?
About 4:30 in the morning, maybe earlier. We eat, and we do our morning prayers as a family. Some people, they go to the mosque in the morning to pray. And then people, they either go back to sleep or they start their day at 4:30 in the morning. And it's a day like any other day, regular day. Wake up, go to work, come home from work, and we just have to delay eating for about 8 or 9 hours.
Well, it's not just eating, right? You can't drink water. You can't smoke a cigarette. In fact, I'm feeling very guilty drinking my water because I know that you can't have it. And then what happens when the sun goes down?
Well, when the sun goes down, people break their fast. Most people, they break their fast according to the traditions of the Prophet Muhammad. And what he used to do was he used to eat a date and drink some milk. And a lot of people, they eat a date, drink milk, and then they have to pray the prayers that are said at sunset. They pray the prayers at sunset, and then we sit down and have a meal, a dinner, together with family, with friends. And that lasts about an hour or so. And a lot of...
Do you watch television?
Well, a lot of people, they watch television. A lot of people, they go to the mosque and pray. A lot of people, they stay home and they do prayers. But after the prayers, there's a lot of free time. And a lot of times, Muslims, they stay up very, very late at night. So what they don't do during the day, they do at night. And a lot of that time is spent watching television.
Now, you have relatives in the Middle East. Do you all watch the same shows on satellite TV?
We watch the same shows. We have the same channels. Of course, here in America, we have about 10 to 15 Arabic channels. In the Arab world, there are about 140 to 200 Arabic channels. But the most popular channels are well known. And our family, I have family in Egypt, in Bahrain, in all over the world. Ohio. My parents are living in Ohio right now. So we always sort of coordinate what programs we're going to watch so that we can talk about it over the phone.
So that way, television is a connector between Arabs and Arab Americans all over the world. What are your favorite shows?
Well, I'm of Syrian descent, so I'm kind of biased towards the Syrian dramas. I find that the Syrian programs tend to focus on social problems that are affecting society. They touch upon these problems and they look at ways and explore ways how to improve these problems, how to overcome them.
Now, they say that television is a reflection of a culture. And if that's true, I'm worried because I don't know what Lost and Sex and the City says about our culture. But when you look at Ramadan primetime television, what does it say about the Middle East?
Well, I think it is a reflection of a lot of what is happening in the Middle East. I mean, if you look at the Middle East, the problems in the Middle East are similar to problems here in the United States. Sex and the City, for example. In the Middle East, you have a problem where women aren't able to get married. They're not finding husbands, or vice versa. You have drug problems among the youth. You have problems with unemployment. I mean, all of the things that we find in our own society is right there in the Middle East. It just has a different flavor. It has a different a taste to it. But it's very similar, and the things that make us happy in the Middle East are the same as what makes us happy here. I mean, if we find a job with a great salary, I mean, that's great. And
thank you so much for sharing that and for helping us to understand that it is kind of a smaller world than we might imagine. So, Souheila Al Jadda, thank you.